Hi everybody. A very popular video on YouTube these days is 5 things you like about something or dislike. And I've never done one on the VFR, although I've done 5 things that surprised me. I've never done a like, 5 things I like. So that's what I'm going to do today. And all of the things I'm going to mention will be things I do discuss with folks. So it's had a little bit of thought. It's not just a spur of the moment thing. So let's just have a look at it. So these are sort of in order. So number 5 is the look of the VFR 1200, but a specific look. I know looks are very subjective and it can look a bit ungainly from certain angles. The front is not everybody's taste, but I love this angle, this sort of like rear 3/4. I like it because the bike looks nice and low, hunkered down to the road almost. And that's going to come back to number 2 on my list. That hunkered down look. It has its benefits, but yeah, with a cup of tea and 10 minutes, I can sit here just looking at that. So number 4 is that riding position. I know it's a bit sporty for some, those bars are low, even though I've got heli bars on, but it's that slimline tank and seat, very purposeful sort of position. And when the elements are against you, battering a headwind or long motorway stints, that riding position is really helpful. I know the pegs are a touch high. If any of you suffer with achy knees, that doesn't help. But I like that sporty position. So for me, yep, high-speed touring, the types of riding I do, that riding position is almost perfect. Easy one for number 3, and that's the build quality. Now, Honda on the Vfr managed to match the build quality with really good materials and really good materials that work well together. I've seen many bikes, particularly sort of like handmade niche manufacturers, that use lovely materials, but they just don't go together that well and they don't work as well in operation. But with the Vfr, everything's pretty slick, looks like it'll last a very long time and really impresses me. That's an easy one. Number 2 is a little bit tricky to explain, but it's stability. Now, you hear a lot about the handling of bikes, but rarely do they go on about stability. They'll go on about flickability, and trust me, the VFR is flickable, but its ace up its sleeve is its stability. And that goes back to what I mentioned about that hunkered down look. Because of the weight and the low seat and the sort of like low centre of gravity, this thing is almost feels unshakable sometimes. Any mid-corner bends, it just glosses over no problem. And there's one particular crest in particular, on the Hemsley, we call it the Hemsley TT road, the 1237 from Stokesay to Hemsley. Just coming up Newgate Bank, there's a little crest there, and just about every bike I've had has shook its head on that crest. Even really stable front ends like my ZX9, they've always shook the head. The VFR, you can absolutely cane it up there. It just rides that crest beautifully. Even if it does lift a little bit, it's absolutely rock solid stable. And really, it brings a lot of safety to the bike, you know. You can have your flickability, great, but if you haven't got stability, it does knock your confidence a bit. And this thing, potholes, obviously we get lots of them, do throw you off a bit. But any ripples, bumps mid-corner, hard on acceleration over ripply roads, yeah, super stable, battleship stable I would say, and that is really, really impressive for a fast, confident ride. Really impressed with that. And of course you'll know what my favourite number 1 is on the list, and that's that V4 engine. Recently just done a video on it, and the thing is always engaging. Whether at low revs, when you get that V4 little judder, when it's not happy low down, better character, you get a little bit of shake on the screen. Then you get that massive mid-range wallop, and then it'll scream to the top end. Or, if you just want to have a bimble on it, the engine is almost silent. And you might not want a silent engine, but when you come off an inline 4, and it's revving away, and you're always looking for that 7th gear to get back on this rumbling V4, is just fantastic. So without doubt, number 1, that V4 engine. So as the rain begins to fall again, I'll leave that with you. Have a think of what your favourite things about the VFR are, and let me know. Thanks again for watching. Catch up with you soon. Bye.